Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So I'm very excited today as I've purchased a new succulent, as you can see over here. Now this is Florence Laui. It's a hybrid succulent. Now you can see there's a lot of disturbance of farina. This usually happens when the succulent is being shipped. So this succulent arrived late in the night yesterday at around 7:30 p.m. So I did not repot it then and there. So I had kept it aside in an open space where there is a good amount of air circulation, and today is the day that I'm going to repot it. I'm pretty excited because this was one of the succulent that I've been looking out for a very long time, and finally I found it. So I'm going to be repotting it today. So this is Florence Laui. Now guys, this is a hybrid, so if you are a beginner, if you are from a place wherein the temperatures are very extreme, especially during summers, so if you are a beginner, I would suggest don't get it right away. Just wait for some time, just get a little bit of experience because this is an hybrid succulent. And if you are from a place wherein there is a high amount of humidity, then I would say just skip this particular succulent because this succulent prefers a slightly dry and cooler environment. So for me, every time, even after 7 years, whenever I purchased one succulent or two succulents, I get pretty excited about it. It's like getting a new pet, or it's like getting a member in your family, a new member in your family. So I get very excited about this. So I had made 2 pots especially for the Florence. I made 2 because I was not very sure what color would look really good in this. So I have a raw grey pot which I made, and then I have a painted black pot. So I think I will be using the black one. It's going to look much better in the black pot. So this is how I usually tend to do, especially when I have just 1 or 2 succulents that I purchase. I try to make a couple of pots for them of different designs, but this is something that I wanted to try. This was a new design of pot that I was planning to make, so I'm very excited about this one. So I think it looks perfect in this pot, so I'm going to be using the black pot. So let's quickly fill the pot with soil. I'm going to cover the drain hole, and let me just figure out the soil and get back to you. So the soil mix that I have used over here is the same aquarium sand. There's a little bit of mountain sand and some activated charcoal with garden soil. This is an echuaria, so again it's the same soil mix. It has to be loose, porous and well draining, and that's exactly what we are using for the succulent. Now let me just place it right in the center and top it up with some soil. And I'm going to cover it up with some more soil so that the roots are completely inside. Now, as I've said, the succulent, when it is recently repotted, it is going to be slightly unstable. It's going to be slightly shaky, which is absolutely normal. As and when the roots will start to appear, or once the roots start to establish, the succulent will be much more firm in the soil. So I think that's all about it. So I'm pretty excited. The succulent looks perfect in this spot. Now, as I said, I'm not going to be watering it right away. I'll wait for at least a couple of days. Now, because this succulent looks very well hydrated, so I can even water it after a week. There is not much of an issue. It is recently potted in this succulent, so do not water it right away. The succulent has to be kept in indirect bright light at least for a week or so that it can completely get acclimated in your environment. Only then do a gradual introduction to sun. For this succulent, I'm not much worried about the sunlight because this succulent has tons of farina, which has got a little bit disturbed. So ensure that whenever you have a succulent that has farina on it, always try to hold it from the edge or hold it from the lower portion. Do not hold it on the crown area, otherwise the remaining portion of the farina will also get disturbed. However, there is a lot of farina that has got disturbed, but we can't do much about it because while packing the succulent, it is very common thing that tends to happen, which is absolutely normal. So now we have it into the soil. We are going to wait for a couple of days. So as I said, this succulent does not prefer a lot of humidity. It is an echuaria variety, plus it's an hybrid, so it prefers a very dry and cool environment. So if you are from a place which is very dry and cool, you can definitely add this in your collection. But if you are from a place, if you are very closer to the coastal area and the environment is very humid, it's very warm, then I would suggest just try to avoid this hybrid because A lot of the hybrids will not work out really well in a very high humid area. But in case if you are growing them indoor under a grow light, then you can obviously grow it indoor. You can buy a grow light and grow this succulent indoor. The only thing is that you have to ensure that there is not a lot of humidity around. That is when the issues start happening with echeverias, especially the hybrids. This succulent belongs to the genus of echeveria, so very soon during winters it is going to get into its dormant period. So it is going to have a slightly slower growth, again depending upon your environment. If your environment has a very extreme winter, then it might go into a complete shutdown. But if you are from a place like mine wherein the temperatures don't drop quite low, it usually is in 20s, so then it's around 20 degrees Celsius during winters in my city, or maybe it might even go to 17 degrees Celsius. So that is absolutely fine. The succulent usually does not go into a complete dormancy, probably a little bit, not a very strict dormancy. So there is a little bit of growth, but not much as compared to what it's going to be during summers. Now, this succulent does not usually get affected with a lot of pest because it has a lot of heavy farina on it. So a lot of times the succulent is saved from direct sunlight. Even if you're going to keep it out in morning direct sunlight, after acclimating of course, the chances of this succulent getting burnt is very low because it has a lot of farina. It can protect itself from the harsh sunlight. Apart from that, mealy bugs are going to be slightly rare because it has this waxy coating and it becomes little difficult for the pest to attack on such succulents, because farina is the most important thing on a succulent. Especially if a succulent has farina, then a lot of your problems are solved because of this protective layer. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.